5280 Sports Network on a Tuesday. Good morning as we roll into 2017 with you. That's Shawn Drotar. I'm Nate Lundy. Thanks for stopping by the Morning Minute and for listening to the radio show weekday mornings 7 to 9 on Mile High Sports Radio, AM 1340, FM 104.7. Yesterday it was made official that the Broncos are in the hunt for a new head coach. Let's start with Gary Kubiak's statements as he departed. Very emotional. Very clear that it was not something that he wanted to do, but that his body was telling him otherwise.
Yeah, very clear that it was a physical challenge that this was about. It was about listening to his body, something that he mentioned a couple times, and he did. We talked about this yesterday, Nate. He did say that he is retiring from coaching, so you get an idea that the health scare is real, but as he also reiterated that his health is going to be fine once he gets away from this, and I think Bronco fans are wishing him the best. To me, this is sort of it was not as sad as it was sort of an opportunity to celebrate Gary Kubiak's, over 2 decades in different capacities with this team. I think the next stop for him, quite frankly, is the Ring of Fame.
As you look at the future of this team, which is now where all the focus goes, it would have, regardless of whether Gary Kubiak were staying as the head coach or not, you'd be immediately looking towards the 2017 season and how this team can continue to improve, especially on offense. Knowing that offense is where you need to improve, Kyle Shanahan's name, of course, has emerged immediately. It came out within a couple of hours of that press conference that the Broncos had requested permission to talk to Kyle Shanahan as Atlanta sits in their bye week. This is an opportunity for Shanahan to interview. He's doing so with 4 teams of the 6 that are doing the search. Is he the clear-cut number one?
I tend to think so. Obviously, there are other people that are going to be interviewed. I think that they're going to look at Vance Joseph. I think they're going to look at Terrell Austin. But the fact that Kyle Shanahan is first in probably means a little bit of something, not the least of which that he's probably the hottest name available as well. But I think when you look at Kyle Shanahan, we think about Mike Shanahan, obviously. I think this is a good candidate, whether his last name was Smith or Jones or what have you. Given what he's done with quarterbacks, and given the fact that what the Denver Broncos need over the next few years is the maturation of Paxton Lynch and the ability to turn him into a potential All-Pro, I think that Shanahan does make, in many ways, the most sense.
There's a lot of other coaching candidates that are out there, hot names that are available, one of which is one that will not be returning. That's Josh McDaniels. But the rest of the names are defensive coordinator guys, and I think that's where the emergence of Kyle Shanahan becomes so important in terms of a top candidate potential for the Broncos. He also is in kind of a strange situation, though, Shawn, because he's able to do these interviews because the Atlanta Falcons are sitting on their bye week this week. Then Atlanta gets back to work in marching through the playoffs as the number 2 seed in the NFC. If you are after Kyle Shanahan and you're one of these 6 teams, or if there winds up being other openings that happen within the NFL, you've got to act relatively quickly to fill the job, and yet you can't because Kyle Shanahan's still working. So the timing of all of this is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, this will be very strange. It's going to be a quick process with Shanahan. We'll find out. Of course, Terrell Austin, Vance Joseph, their teams are in the playoffs as well. So this is going to happen, I think, really quickly for the Broncos, probably within the next 10 days or so. But it's going to be a sort of a whirlwind process, and it's the NFL. It's the Denver Broncos. There's always something going on that's pretty exciting. Cool. This time it's who runs the team.
It's who's running the team from a coaching standpoint. We'll continue to talk with you about it all this week. We'll keep track of the news and notes, and whenever the news does happen, the interviews happen, we'll talk about it here on the videos, talk about it on the radio show, the podcast as well at 5280sportsnetwork.com and milehighsports.com, what the news is and what it means for you as a Broncos fan and what it means for this team going forward. It's not going to be a boring offseason, but then again, it never is. So keep track of everything that's going on, 5280sportsnetwork.com. We appreciate that as always. For Shawn, I'm Nate. See ya.